Good day, everybody. It is Wednesday or Wednesday, however you want to put it, the 21st of April. Quick, brief recap on work. The incident that happened over the weekend has been dealt with. The young man has been given a 1 week worth of suspension, which is only 3 days for him because that's all he wants to work. Basically, he's been told that when he comes back, if he comes in the store with an attitude, mistreating customers and employees, or smelling like marijuana, he will be terminated. I'm the only person who's usually there when he comes in, so I'm the one who smells it. So I will be the one who will be reporting to Randy if he smells like marijuana or anything like that. So all I can say is while I'm there, he better not come in smelling like dope. 2, I can't always report back to Randy on how he treats the customers because I usually leave about an hour or two after he gets there. But I have basically already told Randy that I will tell him, Randy, if he smells like marijuana, and 2, if he basically tries talking down to me. Customer reports will be basically via internet. Anybody who wants to basically complain because of his attitude can go online and basically put in a report via the Dickies website, which is what they did over the weekend. But I for one was kind of like, really? Okay, you're suspending him as a warning. You're giving him the fair 1, 2, 3 out type situation, even though most places here in Missouri, since Missouri is a right to work state, would have had him fired already. But I'm not the owner, I'm not the boss, I'm not the one making those decisions. Yes, I can understand Randy's trying to do his best to straighten him out because at this point in time we are losing manpower. The reason why we're losing manpower is at the end of this month, basically a week from this Friday, we will be losing one of our people who was an opener / closer. So yeah, we're gonna have to try to figure something out on that end. Unfortunately, the way it sounds is the only people who are going to be allowed to open the store now is basically either Randy or Lisa. Lisa is going to have to be, by the end of this month, Lisa's probably going to have to work 6 to 7 days out of the week, and I'm going to have to work 6 days out of the week, which is fine by me because that's more money in my pocket. But the thing is, if they don't want me to go over 30 hours a week, how are they going to make it where I work 6 days out of the week? I mean, the only way you're going to be able to do that is basically 5 hours each day that I work, and try not to go over. And then at the end of May, we're going to lose another person because it's the end of the school year, and I guess she's busier during the summertime doing certain things where she won't have the opportunity to work at Dickies, even though she only worked at Dickies. Well, she was working at Dickies. When we were asking her to work 5 days. She was working 4 days. I don't know, but I understand the situation that's going on at work. I just wish it was a little bit easier. At least I wish we would have started hiring more people back in March, late March, early April, when we had to terminate one person. That in fact, we did have 2 people who wanted to work, or who filled out the application, and we went through the interview process and set them up for days to come in to start working. One person can only work evenings, Monday through Friday. The other person can only work evenings over the weekend. And that fell through. They both basically one of them said they got a better job offer, and the other one said, no, thank you. I the only thing I can say about any new hires that would come into work for us, one, things can get hectic. Things can get chaotic. Otherwise, we're a fun-loving group of people who joke around, goof off, and whatnot when we can, but we get our jobs done. That in fact, the newer generation, I've noticed this. A lot of the newer generation, including this kid that I was talking about earlier that got suspended, they really don't want to work. They want to come in and just on a paycheck, earn it. Granted, nowadays, as long as you're there during the hours that you're supposed to be there, you earn your paycheck. I don't like the new system because I remember when I was younger, my first job. If you did not do the job that they expect you to do, or you didn't help clean, keep the facilities clean, you might have gotten your paycheck, but you also would have gotten yelled at. You might have gotten docked out. You might have had hours taken away from you. A lot of companies in the other states that I've worked in, especially Arizona and New York, they weren't like Missouri. They weren't right to work states. You had to do something to earn being terminated. I have never. I've only been the only jobs I've ever had that I've actually been terminated from was here in Missouri. The one job I had, well, two jobs. No, yeah, two jobs that I had that I left on my own accord in New York, and one job I did get released from because, well, one, it was a work, it wasn't really a job. It was one of those like educational jobs where you're getting paid to learn stuff, but they can let you go anytime they want to, which was the agreement. Well, I actually, he wasn't going to terminate me, but I actually left because I was like, look, I can understand that the workers you have here already are all women and they're all hardcore, but when I feel like I'm getting mistreated because of whatever reasons, um, I don't find it worth my time to be there to learn what I'm supposed to be learning because I'm not really learning what I'm supposed to be learning. And that was the vet tech job. I wasn't working as a vet tech. I was working as a kennel care person. Um, that's not what a vet tech does. The vet tech basically does all the scientific, looking under a microscope, checking feces samples, checking blood samples, maybe taking blood samples or picking up fecal matter for testing to make sure they don't have worms or something like that. That in factor, I mean, when I was working with these girls in a kennel, I was given the worst of the worst. And I'm like, okay, I can understand I'm the low man of the totem pole, but when you're basically just telling me to go do something and not helping me understand exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, no, I'm sorry. But that was, I mean, it was all stepping stones for learning for bigger things. Here in Missouri, it's basically, I mean, I've been working my ass off in every job I've ever had, trying to go up the ladder, but felt like I was being kept, at the low end of the ladder because of, I don't know what the reasons were. Some of it I think was because the fact that people were afraid that I would not only succeed them, but do better than what they were doing. That's always been my attitude. It's like, yeah, the reason why they don't want me around is because I'm doing better than they are. That's, it's the way I felt. But this coming weekend is going to be a doozy. We have a giant truck order because we have almost 6 to 7 catering orders to do this weekend. One for Friday evening, 4 on Saturday, one of which is the wedding catering that I am going to be participating in. Basically, what that means is I'm going to help load the truck, ride in the truck while Lisa or somebody else drives the truck up to Vienna, which is a 35-minute drive, set up for catering, or set up for service, be a server, and then help tear down. I'm not sure if I'm ready to do that. One, the only weddings I've ever been to have either been family members or my own. I was involved in 2 of my cousins' weddings, and then mine. So I've only been involved really in 3 weddings. I've never been involved. That word is kind of like, out of all the things I've done in my life, out of all the things I've been in the middle of in one way or another, has been 3 weddings, one of them my own, and then 6, 7 funerals. My brother-in-law, my father-in-law, my aunt, or 2 my aunts, my father's, my grandmother's. So yeah, 6 funerals. So basically, for this wedding, I'm supposed to be dressed all in black. I have a black polo. I have a black pair of slacks, black shoes, black socks. I'm semi ready for it. I don't know. I mean, other than just standing there and basically plating up some food, I don't know what all I need. What all I'll be doing for this wedding. There's going to be 5 of us. There's Debbie West, Randy, Stephanie, Lisa, and myself. So 5 of us. And I was kind of like, when I found out Debbie West was going to be involved, I was like, why do I need to be there and do this when I could have taken the 24th off and done what I wanted to do, which was go to Festus, Missouri to check out a Norse or Viking festival type deal. And no, I ain't gonna be able to do that. And then Sunday we have a catering order to deal with. Luckily, I think it's a pickup. But yeah, this weekend is going to be a busy, rough weekend. And then of course I have to work Monday and Tuesday. Luckily though, excuse me, Sunday is going to be my usual AM hours. Monday and Tuesday are going to be closing hours. And yeah. And then, of course, I'll have Wednesday, Thursday off again. But it's been getting busier at work, which is kind of good. Yeah, I mean, granted, we're going to be losing 2 people in the next, one this month, one next month. And hopefully we can get some people hired soon. But after this weekend, basically after this week coming, I should say, after the 30th, I may be looking at 6 days a week. Which is kind of like, well, how are you going to work me 6 days a week when I can only get 30 hours? And I was told, don't worry about it. We'll work around that. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't care. Other than that, life has been fun. Monday night. Sometime in the last 24 hours. Sometime since Monday night. I finally got to see one of our foxes. Granted, It was at night. Could not get real good detail. I just knew because it was under a street light. I could get a little bit of the colorization, and just the silhouette was enough for me to go, that's a fox out in the open. Um, which was great because Jerry gets to see their fluffy tails every so often in the fields. I very rarely get to see the foxes. I see my groundhog, I see armadillos, I've seen deer. Of course, always see the squirrels because they're always out and about. And of course, the one critter I hate seeing in my yard because he's always trying to head towards my trash can, the raccoons, little varmints. But yesterday was interesting because it snowed. It snowed for a brief period of time. In fact, I was driving to work in whiteout conditions. Awesome. I was able to see maybe 10 feet in front of me. Enough distance between me and anything in front of me to basically let me know to slow down. But then, of course, it melted before I even came home, which made me sad. I keep on looking at my teacup because I already drank it. But all in all, things are getting busier. Life around here is getting, well, I don't want to say it's getting stressed, but it's getting, for me, I'm talking about me because I can't talk about how Jerry feels. For me, it's getting to the point where it's just like, I need to either take a mini vacation or do something, because I'm just feeling a little too detached from home, because it feels like I'm at work more. I'm either, basically lately what's happening, and I'm turning into my father. My father, now I'm not trying to say this to scare anybody, because in fact I am monitoring my health and whatnot, but my father towards the end of his existence, his life on earth, I should say, the only things he was doing was eating, sleeping, and going to work. Home life was he'd come home, he'd make dinner, have dinner, sit in his recliner, turn on the TV, fall asleep in the recliner until he woke up realizing he needed to go lay in his bed. Usually it's because the fact that someone turned off the TV or made a noise or did something to wake him up. Being as he was a Vietnam veteran and he did suffer from minor post-traumatic syndrome, my father, you cannot go up and touch him to wake him up because he would wake up swinging. I learned at a young age that you'd stand a few feet back and go, Dad, 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 until he woke up. That was basically what was happening with him towards the end of his life on earth. For me, it's not that I come home, eat, and go to sleep. For me, it's I come home and I'm just like, bleh, turn into a lump of shit. Excuse my language. But then, it's not like I'm passing out because I'm tired or whatnot. Yes, by the time I do curl up and go to my bed, to go and lay down in my bed, it takes less than 30 minutes for me to fall asleep now because I'm that tired. Tomorrow is Thursday, and we are planning to go to Springfield, Missouri for just a family day out. Basically, me, Mom, and Jay are going to go to Springfield and do a few little things around Springfield that we want to do. Mom wants to go to the mall because inside the mall there's a Bourbon Street chicken type eatery, or I think it's called Bourbon Street. I don't know, but it's we can get like a big catering platform, a pan of bourbon chicken, and it's like, yes, bourbon chicken that will last us 2, maybe 3 good meals plus a couple little small portion cups for Mom for any day that we have a fend for yourself day, which usually Tuesday evenings is fend for yourself, but this coming week ahead is going to be Monday and Tuesday. Um, yay, yay us, yay me, how we want to put it. And usually Tuesdays is my day to close, but Monday, because this kid has been suspended, I'm gonna have to work his Monday night. I don't mind. I really don't mind. It's kind of like one of those things, like, okay, whatever hours I get, I get. It's just dealing with people here at the house. In fact, I might run out a little later just to see if the schedule's been put up, because I know she made it yesterday, but I didn't like write it down or take a picture of it or anything like that. But excuse me, that's what we're gonna do. And Jay and I had actually sat down and talked about it. We we're gonna take a mini vacation. Basically, we don't know where we're gonna go. We don't know if it's gonna be a staycation, like stay at the house and do whatever, or get out of the house to be away from the house for a couple days. But we were talking about the May 11th to the 14th, basically, couple days to just basically give me a couple days off of work, and the two of us can. We don't know what we're gonna do. We had talked about either going to St. Charles, Missouri, which is a southern part of St. Louis. The reason why I thought about St. Charles is because St. Charles is, well, according to a lot of different groups, some of them are paranormal investigators, some of them are just local inhabitants. Downtown St. Charles, which was during the Civil War, was a combination of an infirmary and garrison for the Civil War, and it's a couple of the different shops and whatnot in downtown St. Charles is haunted. And I went, I want to go. When I found out about it a couple years back, I was like, I want to go. I want to go for two different reasons. I won't even need the cameras and equipments and infrared readers and all that fun stuff. I know I'm a sensitive, which basically means my how do I describe this? The aspect of the brain which is considered part of the paranormal type, if you're sensitive, basically, people like Marissa Moraine and Edgar Casey and a few others were considered sensitive. Your body becomes attuned to things that most people cannot see. And I know for the first time I experienced this, the hairs on the back of my neck and along my arms on a nice warm Arizona day started standing up on end like I was getting instant chills. That is one of the many different things that occurs to your physiological body when your subconscious sensitive part of the brain senses paranormal type stuff. And I'm like, I want to go to St. Charles and see what happens. See what I feel, see what I sense, see what happens. Because I think I've told you guys a story about mom came to visit us in New York a couple years before Hurricane Sandy, and we went to Pennsylvania, Monmouth, Pennsylvania, where the Monmouth battleground is from the Civil War, and we were driving along a side road that was not part of the park. It was like along the side of the park, and I was half awake, half asleep when I started getting all the different sensations: the smell of gunpowder, the sound of cannons going off, the sounds of screaming people, my body just going into a chill. I started crying and just like losing my cool, not losing my cool, but just losing my nerve. And Jerry pulled over to try to figure out what was going on. I said, just get me out of here. Just keep driving. Just keep driving. Once we got out of that area, and I told Jerry and my mom, they were both like, what? And then when we got to the visitor center where there were park rangers and whatnot to basically talk about the park and help us find information. And we went to a map, an aerial map, and I said, this road right here, this is the road we came along, right? Okay. And I don't even know, because I didn't even have a map to say what area, but I said, this area right here between the park and this, what looks like a farmstead, what was that in that area? And they're like, oh, that was part of the battleground. This is where a lot of people were dying at the infirmary, and they had a garrison with cannons and whatnot. And he was telling me all these things. And I looked at him and said, wait a minute, you said right here. Here's the farm. I was like, here's the farm. This is where the garrison was, and this is where all the fighting was, right off the road. And he goes, yeah. And I said, yeah, I know. I know there was at least 100 to 150 people with at least 6 or 7 different cannons there. And he goes, how do you know that? Nobody knows that. I said, because we just drove through there and I felt it. I'm starting to get chills right now thinking about it. And the park ranger goes, are you sure? And I'm like, yes, sir. I heard cannons. I heard musket fire. I heard people screaming in pain and dying. And I just described the whole thing that went through me. And he was like, can we document this? Can you, we've got video booth over here. Can we record you talking about this? And I'm like, I don't care. I just want to understand what the heck just happened. And I'm like literally telling my whole story on camera. And I'm like, look, I don't care what you do with the footage, but one, I really don't need a bunch of people knocking on my door, calling me up and whatnot, or trying to find me to talk to me about what happened. All I know is my story. So I want to go to St. Charles to see what happens. Now, I don't know where we're going to stay in St. Charles, if, a hotel overnight, whatnot. I don't even know if... Ooh. I do remember that episode of Ghost Hunters where they talked about St. Charles, and there's a bed and breakfast in downtown St. Charles. I don't know if they said that was haunted or not, but I have to look into it now. I'm getting semi-excited about it. But anyhow, that's my life update video for the day. I'm going to go ahead and get off. It's 12 o'clock. I want to see if Jerry's awake and see what we're going to do for the day since we're not going out and about. So, if you enjoyed this little video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the question comment box. If you're new to my channel and want to subscribe, you can hit the little subscribe button and a little bell will pop up. You click on that bell and YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. And until next time, have a good day. Bye.